6:30 or so. What is gross Chinese? That's all Chinese food. What? Also, welcome to the stream. Anyone that watch. Are you? Sure. One sec. This guy's just chilling in my spaceship. I told him he could go, and he goes, "I'll meet you there," and then he just walked in. Nothing rings. Alright, one sec. Just put him under your titty. Don't actually. You know what? Let's just call on the knights. So we're gonna end up anyway.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room. Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty
What
as
does
charged.
ruminating mean?
What's occupying your thoughts?
Like thinking on it, focusing on.
Oh, he's like, you've caught me ruminating again.
That's a really awful, like, terrible thing to say. Like it's just cringe. It's
Bokonu,
cringe
the
wording.
author, had some
Yeah, he's
interesting
cringe.
theories about man's perception of
He
reality
looks like
that I
if John
thought could be applied
Krasinski
to
fell
our
in like
attempts to
really
decipher
hard
the plan.
times and then fell into the first Spider-Man.
Unfortunately, he was
Yeah, a
also
little
one
bit.
of the founders of the Philosophist School of Thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
A vicar searching for a banned book. That's a bad
The
example,
story of
doesn't
my
it?
life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new
He's like,
insights into the plan
most
for a
people are
long,
not aware of this, but
long
we
time.
haven't figured
I
anything
had
else
an
out
idea that we
about
should
what
welcome
world.
the truth, no matter
like
where
fate.
we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal.
I think one of my favorite genres of like world building, like based on like faith and religion and beliefs, is when they're just like, like
So we found the banned book that he's looking for, but it's all in French. And he's like, nobody speaks French.
I've been thinking on that. There's a former
Outer Worlds is anti-French.
infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra
That's why
2
it's in
some
the top
years ago.
5.
He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Seriously, one guy in the entire colony that can translate French?
The only one I'm aware of. I suppose
You know that
we
guy
could
gets
always
bullied.
just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
Hey, I'm the captain here, and only I get to be a smartass. Your sarcasm is duly noted and will be reflected on your review.
1,000 pardons, my good captain. I thought we were engaging in witty repartee. Now, as far as tracking down this scholar, we should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
How is it that a simple vicar is a highly skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock.
He developed a certain
I
skills.
meditated, led
Basically, he
sermons,
told
provided guidance to the inmates
like
as needed, of
superior,
course.
hey,
I also played
what
prison
if
yard tossball and
this
taught
religion,
myself a bit about
you know,
computronic
what's going
security
on, man?
systems.
And they were like, thought bad, and they sent him to a prison where he had to listen to like all the inmates talk to him, basically as a vicar, like confess almost, but not really confess. And I guess while he was in prison doing that shit, he picked up a bunch of different skills, life skills in prison, like hacking.
Not exactly true to life,
Thank
but
you,
I'll give you
Captain.
that. I rescued my first worm.
Yay.
First caterpillar. I think if I ever streamed, I'd love to play Hollow Knight.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't stop
specifically, I'd
thinking
also like to
Edgewater,
run
Captain.
the mod that just
I'm
gives
glad
him
the
a fucking
deserters are gonna be all right now they
AK-47.
got power, but
Because that shit
what
is
about the
funny.
town?
But it also takes skill. Like, it's not like she's going in to shoot shit. It actually is hard. Or maybe I'm just bad at it, but still.
Babe, she said, I can't stop thinking about Edgewater because I gave the power to like the deserters so that they could make their little eco-terrorism thing. And my options are: 1, you mention your dad a lot, but never your mom. Thomas seemed very fond of you. Yeah, you mentioned something earlier. Like, I don't get an actual input on what she said.
That's on account of how I never met her.
Is the idea supposed to be like there's people that she cares about in town that she's worried about?
No, it's just like these are conversations that I've missed because I haven't talked to Parvati.
Okay.
It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
So her contract with Spacer's Choice, her mom's contract, basically said that any kids she had were then property of Spacer's Choice. So that's why Parvati's never had a mom, because they sent her away.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't be owned by the corporation.
It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
He's just interested in fixing stuff, talking about Thomas, who's like this little like dork guy who was like, oh, Parvati, hello. Nice to meet you. I've not lately seen a man with a bigger or more obvious crush. The tool he was thinking with was definitely not a wrench.
Thomas always listened to me. Never said I was odd, never tried to... I just want to think of him like that.
She wants to think of him as a friend because he was the only person who treated her like as a human. Fucked up. Also, I'm pretty sure Parvati's a lesbian, like canonically.
Yeah. I
In
wanna
the
say that you
bar?
do something like that.
When I asked if you were a drinker? There was a kind of a thing with a vending machine when I was 12. Sure, but folks got long memories around here. I've always been good with my hands, right? So I saw a lock on the machine and thought, oh, this must be how they refill it. But I had to know. So I did my thing, and next thing I know, there's a couple hundred bottles of 0G rolling out the front door and into the road. It's not funny. Right about then, a bunch of loaders came rolling in the gate, fresh off the Saltuna ships. And Mr. Thompson was up on the porch making a speech about how everyone would have to volunteer a third shift to get it all canned. Anyhow, you ever seen an auto loader run over a bottle of 0G? Exploded all over Mr. Thompson. One bottle after another as the loaders went by. I was just shy of working age, so Dad had to pay all the damages. Rose still angry at me. I can laugh about it now, but I just about puked up my guts in terror in the moment. That's the one time I ever made Mr. Thompson look a fool. Sorry. I know, it's none of my business. It's not like I think it a failing, mind. It's just I live right across the road. Most nights I watch folks out my window. When they come in here, they might be happy or sad.
Oof.
Mostly they're tired. When they leave, they're mad at themselves. Or they stumble into the alley and I listen to their hearts breaking. Maybe so, but we don't think on it that way.
Alright, I guess that's it for her. Already talked to the vicar. I don't think there's anyone else on the ship.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise.
Ada, the ship's computer, she was like, "Hey, I just figured out that the town of Edgewater no longer has power, and that's thanks to you. Thank you for helping quicken their demise."
What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders. What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed the
All
power
systems
regulator.
are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Let's get out of here. Against all odds, the unreliable takes flight. I'm really excited to get to the DLC.
Communication request from Dr.
Eventually, it's
Phineas
the best
Wells.
DLC I've ever played in any video game, like by far. Could have been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage?
Hey,
Perfectly
you need to
normal
fill in
side
for
effects of
Ashlyn
thawing. I
on this
assure you.
little weird decision. Phineas Wells is the guy who unfroze me and basically saved me, right? And I'm basically on this mission to help him out to unfreeze all the people on the Hope, which is like the ship that I was on. Would Chad be nice to the scientist nerd guy?
Just based on how you phrased it alone, I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Because that's kind of like, oh, he's also like a super criminal. I don't know why though.
Interesting.
Oh,
Did you even
that,
message
yes,
Ashton to,
that's probably
let her know you were
permanent.
streaming?
Yeah, I
I
did.
wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll
Honestly,
help
I
me
would say no,
help
just because he's a
us
super nerd.
find the
That's what I
chemicals
But if
to
he's a
revive
criminal and
your
he's
fellow
kind of cool,
colonists.
and he saved your life, I
Gladys
feel like he'd maybe
Kelly,
get a
I don't know
pass.
if he's cool.
runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
How do you expect me to act if I don't have all the facts?
Why do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is
What'd you
a
say?
moon,
Just read my
terraformed badly,
option I
and
chose.
almost completely
Oh.
lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Right, the Black Marketeer. What's stopping me from just leaving Halcyon altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place. And we can start by reviving the Hope.
How do I know I can trust this person who runs the black market?
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
Can't I land somewhere outside of Stellar Bay?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb.
Well,
You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kelly.
fine.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
You want to explain what a holographic shroud is?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
You mentioned this has limitations?
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
What?
Is he yelling? Why do I need a gadget for this? Couldn't I just steal a uniform?
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face.
It modulates your
fingerprint.
voice and sweetens
It modulates
your breath.
your voice and sweetens your breath.
Ow! Oh.
You get your titty?
Yeah.
No. How the hell does a hologram sweeten your breath?
Science, that's how.
Science! What a great answer. People actually fall for this?
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
I'll put it to good
Excellent.
use.
I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart,
I'm gonna go grab the thing they were just talking about, the captain's quarters.
make yourself at home, Captain.
Messages from Alex Hawthorne. I forgot to mention my previous message, so I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of steel. It's not exactly board-approved, so don't you go showing it around to your spacer buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you're out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Winky face, winky face. To Alex Wingman Hawthorne from Udom, Wingman's Wingman, Bedford.
That's funny.
Archive messages. Subject, thank you. Dear Alex, I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I'm delighted by your sense of humor and the tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the by, I was scraping Groundbreaker's comms network for tasty little tidbits. I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing pad and instead touched down the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful, and I look forward to corresponding with greater regularity. Your best friend, Udom. Alex, I don't know where you were raised, but I'd hazard to guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would know it's unforgivably rude to ignore the ardent, sincere message of one's friends. Best, Udom. Dear Alex, hello. Hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I'm terribly sorry about this impounding mix-up. How could it have happened a second time? Terminals these days, I swear, dreadfully unreliable. Aha, just like your ship. I hope you've given some thought to that thing we discussed, about the Wellsville. I'm so sorry to press, but I have the strangest tickling feeling that you really do know him, and if you could just tell me where he is, it would be marvelous for our friendship. Wouldn't it be? Looking forward to seeing you again, Wingman, Winky Face. Oh, I read it backwards. So basically, they met up and drank some, and then this guy got obsessed with him.
Weird.
Look, there's no call for shouting. My terminal was busted. Had a few too many and might have knocked it off my desk. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta cut loose. I'm not telling you where Wells is, so lay off. Buy me a drink at the Lost Hope next time I'm in, and I might forgive you. A.H. That's the only message he sent, babe. Note to self. Remember this later. No better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to the point. I saw in actuality with my own two eyes a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells' lab, just sitting there for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, or if I could have just asked for a smidgen more nicely. He called it a shrink ray. Wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that push the boundaries of the mind, and science's cutting edge, but I figured they were just stories. But to be honest, laying eyes on his shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. Last time I got sloshed, was imbibing at the Lost Hope. on the Groundbreaker, Luke Udon was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on two Mardits yammering on about a mad scientist some years back who claimed he made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us had ever heard of that one before. But here's the good part. Mardit said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power or something like that. A strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat sure fits the bill. Uh, why won't Wells give me the shrink ray? Blast into the depths of the labyrinth. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times, but architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered and thanked him without permission, or without asking for permission, or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet, and even if it were, he couldn't trust someone like me. What does that mean, I asked? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hardworking folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associates, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect about that? Exactly. Now I'll have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meantime, I have been tracking down some additional rumors pertaining to other science weapons. Nice. I leveled up too, sweet. Okay. Um my dialogue is already a pretty high skill. Um my lockpicking is not. But if I do leadership, my companions will be fucking beefier. I'm gonna do that. Leadership, and then next I will go into dialogue again, probably. And I need to go into guns. Just kidding. Uh, oh wow, that's funny. So last time I was here, I got a big sign, I think, or something for choosing the Edgewater city. This
Mhm.
time I got a puffball plant. So like the spores of the puffball cast on the wind and aligning on fresh soil, we put down new roots. Adelaide, the eco terrorist I helped. It's pretty cool.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Let's go to Phineas's lab.
Now arrive. Arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
Oh fuck! I got back in the ship by accident. God damn it! I just saw the green arrow and I was like, okay, without thinking.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it, blast. I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor.
He locked himself in there so I couldn't fucking get to him. So these are called cysty pigs, and this is where they get a lot of their meat. Basically, they have tumors that constantly grow, and they just cut off those tumors because they're meat.
Ew.
Yep. Reminder: buy ladder. Obscure body in the S-K system.
Your old hibernation mask. Can't you remove it? You know, in case you were prone to vomiting.
You spent over 4 decades in space with nothing but this technology of this little chamber keeping you alive. The rest of your fellow colonists are still trapped.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%.
Raising core body temp another 5 Celsius over 1 hour. Dosage appears to be working. Slight diffs from processed and cysty pigs, not beyond expected boundaries. Microscopic assessment shows no sign of sudden traumatic mast cell wall collapse. Encouraging. Reminder, still need to mop up pig. Need to get a view in the cranium, see what's going on with neurons. Oops, hand slipped. Likely effects? Ah, nothing important. May have numbness in left heel. Who even needs that? Looking at sample, evidence of hyperactive production of dopamine and what is that, norepinephrine? Curious. No evidence of entropic effects on neurons, however. Very excited. Now, if only I can keep them from exploding. Raising core temp another 5 Celsius over 1 hour. Oops, I forgot I had a probe in brain. Jostled with elbow. Subject may suffer numbness in right earlobe. Acceptable. Feel ridiculous telling mostly frozen slab of meat. You're doing fine, Ryan Chadworthy. I forgot that was his name. Ryan Chadworthy. Practicing bedside manner is important. Aids recovery. Curious about that neurochemical production. Side effect of prolonged hibernation. Subject may experience psychia. Exaggerated fight or flight response. Checked brainwave found sharp uptick in perceptive cognitive processing.
That's tacky psyche.
When I jostled the probe. Fascinating. Equivalent of a speed to a common housefly's brain. Could be useful in stressful situations. Subjective time dilation. SeaWorld moving in slow motion. Would everyone from Hope have this sort of brain damage, or is it peculiar to Ryan Chadworthy? Can't wait to awaken more from the Hope. Is it even right to call this effect brain damage? Seems like enhancement to me. Who wouldn't want on-call hyperfast cognitive response? Am I envious? To expand the span of the breath to an eternity, to be able just for a moment to perceive the world in all of its infinite detail. Core temp up, still stable. No sign of cell wall decay and neurological necroses. Beginning next 5 Celsius. Yes, I believe I do envy you. Sending. I worked it out. Explain details later. Will be difficult to reproduce. Need your help. All necessary materials should be present in Halcyon, but locations elude me. Dumped a new associate, Dirt Side, Terra 2 near Edgewater. They have a stake in my purpose, but trust in them only about 23.7% at present. They're recovering a ship. Should be along anytime. Need to know where to send them. Let me know when you get this.
Careful, that's my communications terminal.
Mop up melted pig. Ooh.
The Sissy pigs make excellent test subjects. All
Science weapons are unique weapons that have strange and powerful effects. Science weapon damage and the strengths of their effects are both increased by your science skills.
aha!
I got the shrink ray, babe. Nice.
You found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp.
Should I shoot this pig, babe? It's named.
Bubbles. Ew.
Babe, look at it. Oh,
Put him out of his misery, honestly.
no, he's doing fine. He's not dead.
He's not.
No, I didn't kill him.
Oh,
I just
thank
shrank
the
him for a little
Lord.
bit.
Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout.
Any chance you could repair that monitoring device?
The one I gave you before your pod landed? Ruined beyond repair. Impossible to find replacement parts. That's Halcyon Manufacturing for you. Don't worry about it. I'm reasonably certain you're not going to spontaneously expire. No need to monitor your recovery.
You shot me into space, you lunatic. I'm lucky I survived it all.
Nonsense. There's no such thing as luck. Only well-calculated margins of error. You survived that fall in 85 out of 100 simulations.
Halcyon is a cesspit. I'm starting to regret ever coming
Yes,
here.
well, you're stuck here with the rest of us. Halcyon's our cesspit now, and we're all circling the drain together. We can wallow in our collective misery, or we can try to make Halcyon a better place. I don't know about you, but I'd like to live in a colony that isn't marching toward oblivion.
You could have asked me before shoving me into an escape pod.
Oh, balderdash! You hadn't yet recovered your faculties of speech. What was I to do? Dear so-and-so, would you like to be shoved into an escape pod? Blink twice for yes? Still, I admit I may have been a touch hasty, even thoughtless. I do apologize if I rushed you.
I wanted to talk to you about something else. Is there a reason you're hiding behind bulletproof glass?
Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans,
I have my
caffeinoids,
beans.
plenty of toilet paper.
Got a moment to talk? Have you met my crew
No,
yet?
and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Wells. I'm Parvati Holcomb.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are.
Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts.
Shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy.
Show a little hospitality. What?
Oh, very well.
This
I can be a
club
little cantankerous when I haven't had my caffeinoids.
is a bug.
You have my apologies and so forth. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a talented scientist,
Yeah, it spelled
after
it
all.
off.
Our kind has always been incredibly popular.
Spare me the flattery.
That's odd. I'm at least 65% certain my tone was sufficiently sincere. Perhaps the glass is distorting my voice. Must look into that.
That's it. Thanks for the shrink ray, you dirty bitch. this comically stupid looking ray gun.
It's very Jimmy Neutron.
Groundbreaker.
We've arrived at the Groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. How?
I want to
What
learn more
part
about
of
the colony.
would you like to discuss? We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously.
Can you take care of that?
I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to
It is a
run our ship.
bitch.
You are
Thanks.
more than welcome, Captain.
Well, give me the spiel on the Groundbreaker.
The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with stationed representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been paid. How can...
What if you don't have a power source?
I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope?
Guess
When
so.
I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative.
What that mean?
Traveling the system with you, Captain.
But your last captain.
Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system.
She feels bad
I
and
have
she
felt
does
that.
miss her captain.
I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavior.
She feels like she's responsible because she did,
should
you
have
know,
predicted this.
the
In our
space
travels
pod landed
together,
right on him.
Alex liked to pass
Oh,
time
gee.
by, as he called it, tinkering to
Do you
improve
remember that
my
ship
design.
from Destiny that was just like insanely passive aggressive?
Mm-hmm.
If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was.
If you mean was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. I asked if there was another captain.
What would you like?
Ada, tell me a
What
joke.
happened to the captain who kept pestering his ship computer? The life support was disabled. Ha, ha. Get it?
Play my favorite
Now
song.
playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
Playing an advertisement. It's Spacer's Choice. That's not my favorite song.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this advertisement or another board-certified jingle as their favorite song. This fucking game is so funny.
Let's talk when you're free. Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Sure, we'll go to
Thanks,
engineering
Captain.
right now.
I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want... Just
just checking your...
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out.
What is a back bay brat, babe?
This is the groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am.
Oh, what?
Now move
A
along.
back bay
I
brat.
don't have time for this.
That's what he just called him.
Sounds very derogatory.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in an argument
Sure
literally
was.
just now.
Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
Heard you knock someone out with a tossball stick. That guard threatened to toss you out of an airlock.
Yeah. He's like the rest of those bored jackasses. All bluster, no grit. All you gotta do is square your shoulders and stand up to him. Board ain't accustomed to disobedience.
Okay, what did you do?
Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
This guy's a writer for this game. So you defend the honor of your team.
Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan would have done. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Sounds like you're better off on your own.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Imagine me wasting my life loading boxes, unloading boxes, watching the ships roll in and take off. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
I never caught your name. I'm Ryan Chadwithy.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Felix Millstone. See you around, Felix.
See you around, boss. Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Got it? Inside voices.
You learn to keep your eyes to yourself in my job. Nobody wants you looking close at their chemicals all over, but they still got us sweating new boxes.
Wish they'd let us off station. Air up here's just recycled spacer farts.
This is clearly the steps to somewhere. I missed.
Customs
I almost died.
inspection, right this way. Identification,
Sir,
please.
I almost broke my leg. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I don't have an ID. What happens?
Everybody's got an ID. Oh, let me guess. You, left it in your other pants? I hear that one a lot. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a
They
time as
impounded
they
my
see
ship,
fit to
babe.
lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side. Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford,
No.
our board
Oh wait.
representative here on Groundbreaker.
Udom Bedford
His
is
office
the
located
is
along
the
starboard wall
representative.
of the
Babe.
promenade. Shines like
He
a
had my
Byzantium
ship
commode.
impounded as soon as it
Can't
came in.
miss it.
Shit.
I take it this happens
Just the
a lot.
opposite. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations here.
Surely this must be some sort of mix-up.
They must have a real big bee in their bonnets then. Everyone knows you don't trifle with Groundbreaker if you want to get your goods on time.
If I had to take a guess as to why, you probably riled up the wrong petty board bureaucrat. A man named Udom Bedford.
I'm gonna wring this dude's neck.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would Wanda Dorset over in sickbay? Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
No
Of
promises.
course. What am I to you but the guy who's got his eye on your ship? Is there anything?
Can you find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
Looking for something a little more local.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Jun Lei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Oh, something long
If
term.
you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
Kind of fair.
All right?
What can you tell me
He's
about Udom?
friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
Sounds like a fun dude.
Really likes his cereals, too. Maybe a little too much. Bit of a weird bird, all told.
Don't see what's so wrong about liking cereals. They're fun.
Udom takes it to an unhealthy level.
Seems like there's some tension.
Yeah, no.
People won't start
What can I
yapping
say?
about.
We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Sounds complicated.
Sounds like, yeah. But from where I sit, it's all They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway.
Thanks for the info, man.
Be see.
Tactical shotgun is really good if I remember right.
What'd you say?
The tactical shotgun is really good if I remember right, but it's super expensive.
Gonna head to Varus for whiskey and darts. Maybe not in that order.
Oh, there we go. Nice. So many of my mag blocks. Steel hoop? Okay. So as long as I don't move, it doesn't decrease. Nice.
I don't have time.
Got my sights on you.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
Stop yelling at me. What bounties do you have available?
Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is, not the criminal.
Terrible joke.
Allegations include
flying under the influence,
flying under the influence,
open
carrying
containers,
open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees,
resisting arrest, and assaulting two officers.
Not one, but two officers.
Nice.
Flying under the influence of illegal substances?
Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum. Kicked one right in the kneecap while he poked the other in the eyes. McRed's lucky we're too backlogged right now to hunt him down ourselves. But if our resources clear up and we catch him before some contractor does, I fully plan to lock him in ISO with...
I can see why he's wanted, dead or alive.
Dreadful, ain't it? Such blatant disregard. It's true enough that he ain't particularly deadly, but the interest on each fine being compounded as they are means he'll be paying with his life insurance. Only way to cover it. Last check we got pointed
there's
toward the
interest
back
on
case.
his fines, and they're so compounded in the last 26 hours that the only way he can pay is his life insurance. So if you kill him, his life insurance pays off his fines.
Pretty fucked up, actually.
You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on...
Goddamn. Whoa, alright, just trying to make conversation.
I'm not here for it.
What can groundbreak...
I'd really like to get back there.
We can't just let anyone walk. Maybe if you clear...
We're friends, right, Lee? Do me a favor and I'll owe you one.
All right, I guess.
Don't do any shady
out,
stuff.
though.
I'd like to keep my job. Nice.
Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking us anything.
Chief Tennyson?
Chief June...
Yeah, she's the engineer, we know
good
that.
as she can be, I guess. What with all the troubles ground... She could stand to lighten up, I suppose. But she tries her best to do right by folks, and that's what matters.
No reason.
That was very convincing, miss.
don't hassle my crew, bitch.
Yes, sir, of course. I'm sorry if I overstepped. Was just having fun is all. Didn't mean anything.
This guy just let me in here. What a loser. Uh-oh.
There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest.
Detain a freelancer who's cagey about his business. Confiscate his personal belongings. He fled before we could get down to it, left his things behind, so they're stored in the back security station until the idiot shows his face again. Sublight put a bid on one of our impounds, generous one too. Negotiate for the usual finder's fee and then give her salvage. Brought the lost hope, freelancers versus board freelancers warned, arrested freighter captain. Hawthorne's ship was impounded by order of Udon Bedford. Still no clue why Hawthorne associates with that board snake. A guy from the back base roughed up the Moon Kid. Raving mad warned me that the moon was going to bring about the end times. He was flying high on whatever McRed grows down there. Got a sworn testimony that McRed was spotted at the rest and go. Not that anyone will corroborate it. Right.
Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
I picked up a signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here.
I need to get better clothes for him. Max examines and evaluates his target and then spiritually enlightens them with a blast from a shotgun. It weakens them, and it knocks them down. It knocks them out, and it stuns them.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. We're hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice. Said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know,
This is Halcyon News. We
Joe Rockman took the time in his busy schedule to talk about Minister Clark and his impact on the colony. Working with Minister Clark has truly been wonderful these past 8 years. He said his predecessor did a fine job, but Clark's brilliance cannot be overstated. The early retirement program is just the latest in a long line of initiatives he has spearheaded that will ensure Halcyon continues to be the envy of all the outer colonies. We couldn't agree more.
conduct a regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind space travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Very flavored center. Suck it. Chew it.
Do you know what's happening on Terra 1?
Oh, I want to go to my favorite guy in the game.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. It's an ale that's good for what ails you. Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget.
I've got to ask about the hat.
I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send any complaints to our Consumer Care Headwear Division.
Where can I get a hat like yours?
You would never ask if you knew what it's like in here. I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations Choice Specialist. Just keep your nose clean and aim for the moon.
You doing all right in there?
Oh, I'm having a stellar day. Not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as a Spacer's Choice is affordable.
Can you see in there?
I can see all of the top quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog, which is available here at a reasonable price.
How do you brush your teeth?
Have
Oh,
a
wrong
look.
one.
You don't heard of it? My orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
You aren't missing much. It's a
Not
dump.
the word I'd use. I think of it more like a. No, I take it back.
They had
Dump
no
sums it
power.
up
I
nicely.
ruined them.
I liked it fine enough.
Oh shit! Sorry,
I'm
per
sure
body.
they're doing their best. That's the Spacer's Choice spirit. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will love you for using it, too. Anything and everything. Just the opposite. Spacer's Choice item. Oh, Spacer's Choice items are always new, hot off the shelves. You could go broke buying overpriced Aramid gear, or you could buy from us at a much more reasonable rate. Well, this is just the beginning of a long, fruitful relationship. Who knows what discounts await the loyal customer?
This poor retail worker. I'm giving him the business, babe.
What?
I was giving this poor retail worker the business, and now I'm going to rob him. Where are you going? Oh.
Stop that! What do you...
I was just leaving.
Just be careful next time.
Oh, the door was unlocked. Oh, the door shut me in. Get in here, you fucks. For body, get in the fucking... There we go. Defective Moonman helmet. Okay.
Ooh, hate that.
Look at him.
That's fucking crazy.
I see it in my nightmares. Nice, I got a key card. That'll help us later. Let's go to Bell's Shells.
What about the rail gliding championship?
I didn't think anyone but natives followed that.
Oh, fuck yeah, I need that gun. Nice. Stealing in this game is so easy. I just got a fucking sick upgrade on a gun. Oh, and I'm gonna rob her. Hold on. Thank you, bitch. Wait, she's got a lot of stuff. Hold on.
You know
Sorry,
that
Bill.
sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon. I got a full line of weapon.
See what she got for sale. Nothing good, nothing I haven't already stolen, essentially. Alright, Bill, turn around. Oh my god, she pulled out a sniper for like half a second. Bill, just chill out, bro. Oh my god, she keeps just whipping out her rifle real fast and then putting it back like she's threatening me.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
How do you do? And, well...
I don't care. Just leave the drugs on the bathroom floor.
Carry on.
Gladys. Yeesh. Poor guy.
Keep up the good work.
Thank
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
Sorry, she just started yelling at me. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it right here, because Kate and I need to go get food anyway. Thank you for joining, dudes. Have a good one.